Okay, she got every single night, and I don't want
Hey guys, IrwinTech here, back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the smallest phone that could be usable on a daily basis. So I hope you enjoy. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe with notifications on to get notified when I upload daily tech and chromebook content just like this. So let's go ahead and dive deep on what's going on about this phone. Alright guys, so have you been thinking that the new iPhone SE is just too darn big? Unihertz just might have the solution. The Jelly 2, launching today on Kickstarter, is a truly tiny phone. The world's smallest 4G phone with Android 10 apparently. The size. Unihertz has given it a 3-inch 480 by 384 screen, which is obviously very small, but the 20%-ish increase in size makes a big difference. You can now see 5 whole tweets on screen at once, for example, as long as they only contain a few words each. And though I wouldn't want to type out much more than a couple of sentences, the keyboard is just about workable for quick searches, chat replies, and so on. But what about gaming? With a screen this small, it's not even really worth trying to execute hardcore multitasking. I did play a couple of AlsFat 9 races, and it was noticeably low res, but most games wouldn't really be playable on a screen like this, even with unlimited horsepower. What about the battery life? As for the battery life, it seemed reasonable in my testing. There's a 2000 mAh battery inside, which is small by Android phone standards. But then most Android phones don't have to power 3-inch screens, and this is more than double the capacity of the original Jelly. For the unexpected use case, you'll use it only when you really need to, rather than the typical phone scenario of endless doom scrolling and 4K video recording. I think the Jelly 2 will be fine. But what about the camera? Speaking of the camera, there's a 16 megapixel sensor on the back and an 8 megapixel sensor for selfies. The primary camera isn't great, unsurprisingly, but it does the job as long as you're only going to be viewing the photos on the tiny screen. Most actual cameras have bigger screens than the Jelly 2 though, so you should probably take one of those along too if you're planning on visiting somewhere dark or pretty. The specs. This phone is 16.5 millimeters thick, which sounds excessive, but given the small footprint, actually makes it feel chunky, like a pebble. The rear-mounted fingerprint sensor is by far the worst I've ever used, and might as well not exist. You get 6 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. There's a headphone jack, so you can just use this as a compact MP3 player if you wanted. The idea of an Android phone roughly the size of a small potato is at all appealing to you. The Jelly 2 is about good in his example as I can imagine anyone actually making. With Kickstarter pricing starting at $129, it wouldn't have to be your only phone either. I can't say I have much to need for the Jelly 2 myself, but I continue to appreciate Unihertz's devotion to making ultra niche devices. I'm sure the Jelly 2 is exactly what a very small number of people have been waiting for. That's all I have to talk about at the Jelly 2 today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Also subscribe for a shout out. Comment down below, subscribe and get a shout out in my next video. Here are the shouts for this video on the screen right now. Go subscribe to them. If you subscribe to me, one of these shouts could be you guys. Enjoy this phone if you're ever going to pick it up. And yeah, it's IrwinTech signing out.
got the mojo deals, we been tripping like the 80s. Pulling out the coupe at the lot.